New developments this morning in a celebrity legal battle that could impact would-be parents nationwide. Actress Sofia Vergara's ex-fiance, Nick Loeb, wrote an op-ed in today's New York Times. He is demanding that their frozen embryos not be destroyed or sit in a freezer forever. Now, Sofia Vergara's attorney says she will keep the embryos frozen indefinitely because she does not want to have a child with Nick Loeb. CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman is with us at the table to sort it all out. What was the agreement, Rikki? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
The agreement is indeed a contract, and the contract was very clear. They had agreed at the time of in vitro fertilization that the embryos would remain as they are. They could be destroyed in the event that one of them died, and meaning they could be destroyed, they would simply be thawed. And both parties must agree as to what to do with the embryos. One person cannot decide.
In fact, Nick Loeb signed that consent that said the baby can only be brought to life if both parents sign that consent form.
Yes, and we have to understand what he says in his complaint. Nick Loeb, who is a sophisticated businessman from families of great business sophistication, says, I was coerced. She abused me. She was always abusing me. And she made me do it because I was under duress and I did not want to suffer more abuse. Well, that claim may prove to be a bit too much.
So why are we talking about this? So you're saying sanctity of contracts, case closed?
Well, no, not so simple, because you know how I feel about contracts. I think that we exist in the world under law and society by virtue of contract. Everything we do is on the basis of agreement. However, there are 10 states that have looked at in vitro fertilization and these kinds of quote-unquote custody battles over what most states will say is the property called embryo. And what they have found is this. 8 of them have said, basically, the contract controls, the agreement controls, if it's written, if it's signed, or even if there's a verbal agreement. Some have said we have to balance these things.
But in fact, isn't it only, though, in the other 2 cases, the women had cancer, and so the judges said, well, since they don't have a chance, probably since they've gone through chemotherapy, they let them have the embryos.
Yes, and that was the woman, remember. One of the things about public policy is, do we want to force a woman to become a mother of a child that she does not want with a person that she does not want it with?
But he's saying, I want these 2 daughters. He already knows that they're girls. She doesn't have to assume any financial responsibility, any parental responsibility. He says at the time we agreed, and now he wants them. Doesn't he have a say in what happens to the embryos?
Once he has signed this agreement, this consent form, where they have agreed that both of them need to decide, he probably doesn't have a right. However, it is a case of first impression in California. This will be the 11th state, and we want to know what people's rights are in this situation. Are embryos property, or are they really people?
Thank you.
It's interesting to watch.
It really is.